Let's get one thing straight. You're not lazy. You're just highly motivated to avoid your own potential. You've got drive, precision, patience. You'll replay a level 10 times to get it right. You'll grind for updates, memorize patterns, master systems. But when it comes to your own life, you're stuck on the loading screen. Suddenly, everything is too risky, too complicated, too uncertain. So you log in, not just to the game, but out of your real life. Because in the game, there are rules, rewards, a sense of progress. Out here, just that vague pressure to figure it all out, without a map, without checkpoints, and no experience bar in sight. So you stay in the safe zone, run side quests, avoid the main story. And the saddest part? You're the main character. You've just been on autopilot. You've played for hours. You tried and failed and tried again and finally leveled up. Faced the same challenge more times than you can count, and every time you kept playing. Because the game gave you something. A clear goal, a sense of progress, and a reason to try again. So let's be honest, it gave you peace. Not the passive kind, but the kind that comes from knowing what to do next. From losing yourself in focus and making progress even if no one's watching. Now, look at your real life. No compass or a blinking marker on the screen, and no music when you're on the right path. Just decisions and doubt, with the quiet fear that if you mess up, there is no reset button. So you hesitate. You stall. You stay in the safe zone, not because you're lazy, but because you're scared to waste your turn. But the real insight is, in the game, you never really lost anything. And you didn't always win either. You just played. You figured things out, learned something, and moved on. But what if real life worked the same way? What if you stopped waiting to feel ready and just started? What if you picked a goal, treated it like it was your next mission? Learn something, build something, explore. If it works, great. And if it doesn't, you didn't lose. You learned and you're still in the game. You have nothing to prove but so much to gain. Because when you invest in you, your skills, your courage, and your ideas, you're no longer pretending to play. You're playing for real. And the same peace you found in the game, you'll find it here too. Not in pixels, but in real progress. You've put in the hours before. You've stayed up late and watched walkthroughs. You learned every mechanic, every shortcut, every strategy because it mattered. So here's the question. What if? What if you brought that same focus into your real life? No, not to impress anyone and not for likes, but because deep down you know you're capable of more. So start. Pick something you're drawn to, not because you're already good at it, but because you're curious enough to get better. Turn your skills into a mission, not just get rich or go viral, but something real, something you can shape. Maybe it's design. Open Canva, play around with some shapes, colors and fonts, and suddenly, your idea has a face. Maybe not perfect, but yours. Or maybe it's education. You watch tutorials because every bit of knowledge feels like progress, like a real upgrade. Step by step, you learn how to start a channel, how to sell a product, how to build something that actually lasts. You don't wait for the big idea. You build it, brick by brick, page by page, and video by video. As you learn, you evolve. You're not just watching anymore, you're applying. You're shaping a brand, one that stands for something because it came from you. And yes, it's slow because there's no instant reward. But this time, every hour stacks. Every skill compounds, and every setback teaches you. This is the game now. Your business, your brand, your growth, and the best part, you already know how to play. That's your world, and you don't need permission to enter it. You don't need permission from your parents, your friends, or the ones who will roll their eyes, quietly doubt you, and wait for you to give up. Let them laugh. Let them watch. You've played in stranger worlds with less direction. And still, you figured it out. So what makes you think you can't figure it out too? You're not too late, you're not too old, and you're definitely not too small. You're just on the first level. But this time, well, this time it's for real. So here's the truth. You've always had instincts, the drive, the focus, and the creativity. But for some reason, you gave it all away to simulations, to characters you could level up because it felt safer than leveling yourself. In the game, you knew the rules, you had quests and rewards with a clear path forward. But in real life, it felt too blurry and too risky, too much noise and no restart button. So you stayed in the side missions, mastered distractions, and convinced yourself you'd start eventually. But the clock doesn't pause. The wild thing is you're already playing the game right now and every day, whether you lead the story or not. So, what if you did? What if you became the main character? The one who doesn't just consume stories, but writes them? What if your goal wasn't to escape your life, but to upgrade it? Step by step, nothing dramatic, nothing flashy, just consistent. You pick the mission, build the stats, and choose the next move. And when it gets hard, you don't log off, you lean in. Because you're not just here to play, but you're here to build and grow, to become the version of you who doesn't need a game to feel powerful, because you already are. And what if people look at your life and say, "Damn, you got lucky"? You'll smile, because yeah, maybe you did. Maybe you got lucky enough to realize the real character worth leveling was you. You've reached the end of this chapter, but the beginning of your game. What comes next isn't about winning in one move. It's about taking the next step, and then the one after that. The story's already waiting for you, not on another map, but in the territory you've yet to explore. And when the moment comes to push further, the route is waiting below.